Hey folks, how you all doing? So today I'm going to be doing another Studio Rankings album. This time we're going to be looking at Leonard Cohen. Not sure how popular Leonard Cohen is in the VC, but I guess we'll soon find out. Now Leonard Cohen is a poet, songwriter, puts words to poets, poems basically, a lot like Bob Dylan. He's not really a singer like Bob Dylan, except his voice is a lot more accessible than Bob Dylan's. I guess even Lynn likes his voice, and she's not a Bob Dylan fan, but she likes Leonard Cohen's voice. So yeah, this is a really hard one to do. I've been changing the order of these songs for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks, going back and listening to albums, really that one's not better than this album, or this one's a lot better than this album. When I've listened to them, I'll just keep changing the order, except for the bottom 4. The bottom 4 are still really good albums, but they just aren't my favourites, either because I don't listen to them as much as the other albums. Doesn't mean I don't like them, I just don't listen to them as much. And for some reason I don't get the same pleasure out of them. So it's a really hard one to do, Leonard Cohen. It's not like, let's say, your McCartney's, your Dylans, Elton John, whatever. There's 4 or 5 albums that are the cream of the crop up there. There's probably 4 or 5 that everyone puts down the bottom, and then there's a mix in the middle. Probably the same with Bowie, Stones, whatever. Name your artist. But Leonard Cohen is so different. It's so bloody hard trying to rank his albums. In fact, I almost gave up on it a few days ago, but I thought, no, I've spent all this time trying to do it, let's try and get something together. So I've only got 3 vinyl albums here. Got a box set. This is, if you're interested in Leonard Cohen, this is a really good box set to get on compact disc. I think it was only, paid about $60, I think $70 on Amazon. And it's got all 15 studio albums in there, including Thanks for the Dance, which was the final one that was released just after he died. So that's a good collection if you want to get it. I could only find 3 of our studio albums between us, so I've had to use the majority being compact disc. So let's go. There's going to be a couple of WTF moments in this. It wouldn't be a Lloyd Rankin list if there wasn't some WTF moments. Anyway, let's get on with it. Number 15 on my list, songs from Leonard Cohen. This was released in 1967, debut album. The music is light, it's sparse, it's almost hollow. The lyrics are great, as is his delivery of them. The only problem is that I prefer band orientated Leonard Cohen and the mature vocals of Leonard Cohen over his younger sound. There's some great moments on this album. Songs like Suzanne, So Long Marianne, and Hey, That's No Way to Say Goodbye. Great songs. It's just that I prefer the older version of Leonard Cohen. Again, like Bob Dylan. Do you like his first 2 albums, or do you like his 70s, 80s albums, or whatever? You know what I mean? Or even the ones from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's, horses for courses. Anyway, this one comes in still a really good 7 out of 10 for the lowest ranked album. Next up at number 14, I have this one, his second album, Songs from a Room. This was released in 1969, obviously sophomore album. Like the debut album. Great lyrics. David Crosby produced some of these tracks on here. Initially he was supposed to produce the whole album, but I don't think Leonard Cohen was happy with the results, so he kept a couple of them he was happy with, and then got someone else to produce the rest of the album. Charlie Daniels, some of you will know him as being a country singer in the US, outlaw country. You'd know him around the world for the Devil Went Down to Georgia song. Charlie Daniels appears on this, plays fiddles and acoustic guitars. As I said, I prefer the much more mature Leonard Cohen, mature sounding Leonard Cohen than his earlier material. Bird on a Wire is my favourite track on this album, and that comes in at 7 out of 10 for the album. Number 13 on my list, his third studio album, Songs of Love and Hate, released in 1971. His wordplay and ability to create moods and oral imagery is equal to Bob Dylan and Nick Cave. And just like those two, some things have to be near the bottom of the list, some things have to be near the top. It's just a shame that, you know, there has to be a lower ranking for these albums, but that's the way it is. Favourite songs on here, Famous Blue Raincoat and Joan of Arc. This album comes in at 7.2 out of 10. Number 12 on my list, we got 1988. His 8th studio album, I'm Your Man. Lots of rhythms / sequences on here, lots of keyboards. This one makes for a really interesting listen. Jennifer Warren supplies backing vocals on here, and the album contains the original version of First We Take Manhattan, which Jennifer Warren's covered so eloquently not long after this. In fact, better than Leonard Cohen's version. Possibly the closest album he released to being a commercially pop radio friendly album in his catalogue. Tower of Song and Jazz Police are my two favourite on this album. 7.5 out of 10. Number 11 on my list, we go to 2004 with his 11th studio album, Dear Heather. It's his third studio album with Sharon Robinson, an American instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, as his co-writer and vocalist. It's his third album. Their vocals blend so well together, but there's something here, I just can't put my finger on it, and it just irks me sometimes. It's nothing overly bad, there's just something that I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just, yeah, something just irks me, but it's still a really, really good album. Go No More Roving is my favourite song on here, and the gospel tinged 9/11 inspired On That Day. The two best songs, this album comes in at 7.5 out of 10. Number 10 on my list, we go to 10 New Songs. This was released in 2001. It's his 10th studio album. So number 10, 10th studio album called 10 New Songs. Now, believe me, I did not rig this. I couldn't have rigged it. I only just thought of that when I was reading it out just then. So that's a coincidence. 10, 10, 10. So it's his second collaboration with Sharon Robinson. It's a good album, but at times it seems to just feel fragmented when I listen to it. Sometimes it sounds like almost a near perfect album, and other times it just doesn't quite sound right. Again, like Dear Heather, there's something about it that I can't put my finger on. I don't know, but that's the charm. That's the charm of it. It does sound fragmented at times, but there's a charm, a certain charm, just like Dear Heather, which is why neither of these are right at the bottom of my list. Best track for me, That Don't Make It Junk. This album comes in at 7.6 out of 10. For me, number 9 on my list, we go to Thanks for the Dance. This was released in 2019. It's his 15th and final studio album. The vocals and the basic melodies were recorded prior to his death. Obviously, he couldn't record his vocals after his death. Just clarifying that, just in case people wonder. The album was finished by his son Adam, who does work on his last couple of albums before he died. Apparently, it was finished to as per the request of how Leonard Cohen wanted this album finished. The album has that finality, closure vibe that Black Star had for David Bowie. It's a very good way to say goodbye. Just a really, really good album. It's very somber, very deep, etc. And yet it's uplifting at the same time. It's really strange. Listen to the Hummingbird is my favourite song on this album. It comes in at 7.8 out of 10. Number 8 on my list, we go to 2012. Old Ideas. This was written and recorded in the aftermath of his manager stealing all his cash. How many times have we heard that about managers, accountants running off with an artist's money and leaving them absolutely desolate, bankrupt, etc.? It's It's just gone on ever since the Elvis Presley days, you know. It's just never ending. So yeah, this he was left nearly bankrupt. It's his music and albums are usually very dark musically and lyrically, but this is darker than previous albums simply because of that. It's very somber. There's lots of biblical and religious references throughout this album. The album's themes include life's mistakes, obviously, frailties of human nature, and the frailties and mortality of getting old, which he was about 77 when I think he recorded this album. Best track for me is Going Home. That was released in... Oh, sorry, that's 8 out of 10. So that's number 8, and that is I Love Every Album from here on in, number 8. So that's half his catalogue, and I really like the first half that I mentioned. Number 7 on my list, we go to 1979. This is 6th studio album, Recent Songs. It's a return to his jazzier, folkier tunes after 1977's Death of a Ladies' Man with its Spectre-influenced wall of sound. Some oriental, almost world music on this album. Album shows he could still flip between styles, genres, and still sound like Leonard Cohen, regardless of what he did. Favourite song on here for me is Gypsy's Wife, and this one comes in at 8 out of 10 for me. Number 6 on my list, we go to 2014 with his 13th studio album, Popular Problems. Love his vocals. The older he gets, they just sound so statesman-like, so mature. Sort of like Sean Connery has that statesman-like sound when he talks. He's the same with his latter day albums. Lyrically, it's up there with the best of his career. An excellent latter day career album, in my opinion. Favourite track is called Slow. This one comes in at 8.2 out of 10. Number 5 on my list, we go to 2016 with his 14th studio album, final album released prior to his death, You Want It Darker. This was released a month or two prior to his death in 2016. Solid album. It's a similar vibe in sound and feel to his earlier albums, but again, it's his more mature sound that lifts this one for me. Mature sound vocally, I mean. It's like, to me, I don't know if it was a deliberate attempt to come full circle back to where he began, but that's just how it feels to me. And as it comes full circle, it's just a testament to everything he is good at. Title track is simply spine-tingling, and as a final statement, it's absolutely majestic, just the way that Lazarus was for David Bowie as his final testament. 8.4 out of 10. Number 4 on my list. Go back to 1977, his 5th studio album, Death of a Ladies' Man. Signature. All the signature minimalistic jazz instrumentations have gone and replaced with an almost soft rock vibe on this album. The album has an almost, to me anyway, when I'm listening to it in the car lately, has a dense, compressed feel. So it's not an instant like, it's not an instant classic that you would expect from Leonard Cohen, but it does grow on you, and once you get it, if you know what I mean. Absolutely brilliant in my opinion. Favourite track on here is Iodine or Iodine. This one comes in at 8.4 out of 10. Number 3 on my list, we go to 1974, his 4th studio album, New Skin for the Old Ceremony. A departure from the poetry style tracks from the first 3 albums. This one has structured verse, chorus, verse style, and it's an excellent album that works musically, lyrically and vocally on every level for me. Let's say, I'm going back to Bob Dylan. It's like when he, like a Rolling Stone, he went from being a poet to, I mean, he was still a poet, but it was verse, chorus, verse, and that's the way he's gone as well. just brilliant. Brilliant on every level. Favourite track on here is This What You Wanted? This album comes in at 8.9 out of 10 for me. Number 2 on my list, 1984, Various Positions. This was his 7th studio album. Loved the quirky nature of the Casio tone keyboard. Remember those? Remember the old Casio tone keyboards? Well, he wrote all the songs on one, decided to keep some of the keyboard sounds on the album. If you don't know what a Casio tone or Casio keyboard was, it had preloaded beats on it, you know, rumba, samba, pop, rock, jazz, and they were preloaded and they would just continually loop over. Plus it would have music on it as well, that you go samba, whatever, rumba, pop, rock, and you'd get this music samples, and all you'd have to do was play the keyboard notes to go with it. So that's just letting you know what it was in case you don't know or you're too young to remember. German trio used one, or Stefan Remmler did, when he was singing Da Da Da, Don't Love You, Don't Love Me. That's the same sort of thing this was recorded with. Most diehard fans put this album near the bottom of his lists, including my mate Ed Husbands, who lives in Florida now. He was from Kentucky. But I love it. I love the quirky nature of this album. I think it's really, really cool. The one song that really isn't quirky is his signature tune, Hallelujah. Who would have thought? You know, a lot of people would think Hallelujah would have been an old song of his, but it actually wasn't written and recorded and released till 1984. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant. It's not as good as Jeff Buckley's version, which is absolutely brilliant. It's not as good as K.D. Lang's. I prefer both of those over Leonard Cohen's. It's like a lot of Bob Dylan songs. You prefer a lot of the covers over the original. It's the same with Leonard Cohen, but his song has a real gospel uplifting vibe to it, which is absolutely brilliant. The favourite songs on here for me are obviously Hallelujah and The Captain. This album comes in at 9.2 out of 10, which leaves number 1, and this is definitely a WTF moment, especially if you're a diehard fan like his last probably 3 or 4 have been. We got 1992 with his 9th studio album, The Future. The album opens up with Leonard Cohen going all pop star on us, you know, pop singer, pop song type stuff, which is really a glitch in the Matrix and really out of character for Leonard Cohen. But I love the unexpectedness of it when you put the album in and play it, because every time I play this album, as soon as the opening track comes on, I'm like, what the? I just forget that he's recorded stuff like this. After that, it's back to Leonard Cohen being Leonard Cohen. Sharon Robinson features on here as guest vocalist, backing vocalist, co-writer on a couple of tracks, and I think she even co-produced some of this album, or maybe all of it, from memory, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments section below if I'm wrong. Most diehard fans don't like Leonard Cohen working with other people, including my mate Ed, but I love it. I see these other people like Jennifer Warnes on the other album that she did, the 3 with Sharon Robinson, that it adds a different dimension to his music. I'm not saying it improves it, I'm saying it just adds a different dimension and takes it off sometimes to a different tangent that you would expect a Leonard Cohen song or album to go. Superb album, and again, this is a WTF moment for probably most of you, especially diehard fans, but to me it's my favourite album. It's the album I listen to more than any others by Leonard Cohen. Great stuff. Favourite tracks on here are Closing Time and Democracy. The album comes in an absolutely brilliant 9.5 out of 10. Anyway guys, had to try and get that through pretty quick. 15 albums in less than 20 minutes so far. Anyway guys, let me know in the comments section below what you think of Leonard Cohen. Are you a fan of Leonard Cohen, etc, etc, etc. I'm trying to build up my channel again, so hit that subscribe button there, give me the thumbs up. I won't be doing thumbs up after the weekend when I have surgery on my thumb, but now so I have to do it now. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye folks.